Hi, welcome to episode 7 of Behind the Crumble. I'm Caitlin and I developed the Chinese New Year special. Let me show you how I made it and how I developed it. We're going to start off with the fruit. So this is Asian pear. We're going to chuck this into the pan first. And then we're going to start heating through the spices. So it's a really simple recipe. We've got some spices, very typical Asian spices as well. 5 spice, which is a really unique spice, typically used for meat only, but we're going to add it into our fruit today. Going to give this a little stir to warm through, like that, and you should be able to smell it. That's a key thing. And then we're going to add the juice of the peach. So this can be from a can or bottle, and then reserve some for the slurry later. So I'm going to give this a stir, and then we're going to add the sugar in. I'm going to add some brown sugar. Now there you are. I'm going to let this cook for a little while until the fruit becomes opaque. So with the leftover juice, we're going to add it to some corn flour to make a slurry. I'm just going to let this thicken through now, and then we'll add the last ingredient, which is the peach. Yeah, that looks really good. Now we're going to add the peach in, and that's the final ingredient, and we'll warm it all the way through so that both the fruit is nice and hot as well. Oh yeah. Okay, so we're done with the fruit. We're going to move on to the crumble now. Time to make the crumble. Now this is a brown sugar crumble, but we're adding 2 special ingredients to make it proper Chinese New Year. I've got coconut and I've got sesame seed. So we've just added the coconut and the sesame seed in. I've got the brown sugar mix at the base already. We're just gonna give it a stir. So we're gonna be making the topping for the Chinese New Year special, and it's a ginger cream. So we're gonna start off with some whipping cream. I'll add it to the bowl, and then some icing sugar. Woo! And then of course ginger. Now, it wouldn't be indulgent without a little bit of mascarpone, so I'm adding some in. Let's get whipping. It should be nice, stiff peaks, just like that. There you are. So we're finished with all 3 components. Let's assemble the crumble. Starting off with our fruit. This is the peach and pear fruit. Up next is our crumble. And then finally, the whipped cream that we made earlier. For this crumble, we're going to be doing a ruffle effect, and this is to associate with the Chinese New Year clouds. It's a really big symbol that we have. It's part of our decoration for Chinese New Year. Let's move on to the sprinkles. So we're going to be using 2 sprinkles. We're going to use raspberry sprinkles, and this is in reference to the actual color, not the flavor. So red is a very prominent color for Chinese New Year, and it is meant to be very lucky if you wear it on this day. Finally, gold, the most auspicious color for Chinese New Year. And there it is, Chinese New Year crumble. So this is how I came up with this special. Now, we tried with multiple fruits. We started off with a classic apple, because apple is very prominent in this culture as well. But there are some ingredients that you just can't not miss, and peach is one of them. So I brought in peach first. We started experimenting with all the seasonings that are typical to Chinese cuisine, and I stuck with 5 spice. Now, peach was also a very auspicious fruit, so we paired it with pear just because it's an interesting flavor, but Asian pear has a really cool crunch to it, so there's lots of textures. It took a couple of rounds to get to this point, and that's the same with the crumble. So the crumble element is super nostalgic. It's in reference to cookies that we had as children, especially when we're doing our prayers. Now, the most prominent elements are coconut and sesame seeds, but these cookies had brown sugar in them, hence the brown sugar crumble that we're making today. Now, the way it pairs together, so we've got the harmony of the spices from the pear and peaches with a really delicious but satisfying crunch from the crumble. So come get this special, and it's running from the 17th of February to the 3rd of March. Better hurry. there you are. It's warming, it's spicy, and it's super yummy.